Hey guys, and welcome back to Top Cheddar Sports. Today, I am wearing a sport neutral shirt, so kind of keeping the mystery alive. We don't know what sport we're going to talk about. Don't even know what team I'm rooting for, because that's the way it should be here in 2019. We're getting into 2020. We need to be more forward thinking, I think, here at Top Cheddar. In all seriousness, it's Monday. You know what we're talking about. We're talking about baseball, and you're seeing my stupid face, so there's only two options. This is the one. So we're going to get right into it. Not a whole lot has happened in the past week, just a couple of key things that I think are important for us to focus in on, and so let's get into it. So the Yankees announced that they were releasing Jacoby Ellsbury. A lot of stuff is going on with that, which I'll touch on in a second, and they also designated Greg Bird for an assignment, which I find interesting because he was the first baseman of the future during the Cheddar years. Now they're making a full push on Luke Voit. Makes sense. I felt Bird was really talented, but he just hasn't panned out quite yet, so best of luck to him wherever he goes. Hopefully he can make an impact with someone somewhere. But Jacoby Ellsbury is really interesting with what's going on with him. So the Yankees are filing grievance against him and trying to get us that they don't have to pay the $26 million. You heard me right, $26 million that he is owed this year. He was also paid $26 million, if not more, depending on how, or less, depending on how it was backloaded, front-loaded, during 2017 and the 2018 season and the 2019 season. He suited up for the Yankees a handful of times and barely played due to so many different injuries. So they're filing grievance against how he handled those injuries in the hopes that they can recoup that money and not pay him. Should be interesting. The Players Association is not going to be happy about that because they think their players deserve to get paid what they're owed. But Ellsbury hasn't played, and it almost seems like there was no effort from him. It's really curious, and without knowing both sides, I don't want to assume anything, but I definitely understand where the Yankees are coming from. It's a lot of money that you've been paying for a guy who's not playing. We'll see what they decide to do. Free agent signings, so we got three big ones this week. Yasmani Grandal signs with the White Sox. This is huge. 4 years, $73 million. So Grandal, catcher, two great seasons the past 2 years. With the Brewers this past season, he was one of the best hitting catchers in the league. That coupled with how well he plays defensively, it's a lot of money for a catcher. He's getting paid over $18 million a year. So it'll be curious to see what now happens with JT Realmuto and the Phillies because they're trying to work on a deal with him. Realmuto is the best catcher, better offensively and better defensively than Grandal. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here and how much they have to pay Realmuto. They do have an arbitration year to work with, so the overall number may come in a little bit lower, but I'm thinking they're going to have to give at least 5 years, $20 million a year, average annual value, to re-sign him. So that'll be interesting. White Sox didn't stop there. They're obviously going to be very active this offseason. They re-signed Jose Abreu. So with the qualifying offer, I'm not 100% sure how this works. He accepted the qualifying offer, and then they re-signed him to a 3-year, $50 million deal. I believe that goes on starting next year. So he's essentially signed for 4 years, $67.8 million, including the qualifying offer. I believe that's how it works. I can confirm that after doing a little more research. This is a really good signing, though. I absolutely think that Abreu is a good first baseman. I think the White Sox are getting him for good value. I think he could have commanded more on the open market, but given his age, the fact that he was able to take the qualifying offer for $18 million, that's a lot of money, and then to lock in a 3-year deal where he's going to be getting paid over $15 million a year, that's good, especially given his age and everything. And he gets to stay with the organization that brought him into the majors, so that's always a good thing. He's familiar with them, and they're definitely young and looking to build something, and it could be happening soon, and definitely having him is going to be key. The last big free agent signing, Travis d'Arnaud signs with the Braves, 2 years, $16 million. Love this move for the Braves. Brian McCann obviously is retiring, so getting a guy like d'Arnaud who is great defensively. He's good. He's a good hitter. His time with the Mets and the now Rays proved that. And $8 million a year for a solid backstop, I think, is really good. And like I said, all around good signing for the Braves. The last thing I wanted to touch on was the Angels and their quest to get Mike Trout back into the postseason. It's been a while. 2014 was the last time Trout touched postseason soil. So what do they need to do? Well, they got to do a lot, obviously. They need to get some pitching. They need to get some hitting. It's what every team needs to do to build a championship team. But when you have somebody as talented as Mike Trout, selling somebody on playing for the Angels shouldn't be that hard. Going out and getting a guy like Anthony Rendon and a pitcher like Strasburg or Cole would be a great starting point, obviously. But they could look to do a couple of different things. Instead of spending that much money on two people, they could spend that much money on two pitchers and two hitters. So it'll be interesting. One thing I read was that they should try and make a move for the Cubs catcher, Castillo. Yeah, any team should make a move for him. Great offensively. He's got a cannon of an arm behind the plate. He could corral that pitching staff. I think catcher should not go overlooked by the Angels this year. Definitely a position that they need to really upgrade on, and catchers are a premium in the majors. So we'll see what they do there. That does it for the news on baseball this week. Now, I know I made a joke last Tuesday during the NBA weekly update that I was leaving Top Cheddar, and that didn't age well because I am actually going to be stepping away probably for at least a month as I try to figure out some stuff with my schedule and the move that I'm making and trying to figure out where Top Cheddar will fit into all of that. So comes with a heavy heart that I must depart, but you're in capable hands with Brett and Vic. I'll try and help out behind the scenes as much as possible, but you probably won't be seeing me on camera as much, except to maybe pop up here and there if needed. But yeah, I wanted to let everybody know that. So next week, it's just them. It's just your Pittsburgh boys. So at least until I figure it out. And I'm guessing like a month, but it could be less than that, could be more than that. I don't know. I will keep everybody posted as much as I can. But that's it. That's it for your Baseball Mondays. They're about to get a lot less enthusiastic because I don't know if, well, Brett is constantly talking about how much he hates baseball, and Vic's knowledge of baseball, like I said, I'll try and help out behind the scenes as much as I can. But yeah, so they'll be the ones reporting from here on out. And I obviously won't be doing basketball on Tuesdays either for the time being. But as soon as I'm back, I look forward to it because I look forward to doing this. And it's what I enjoy doing. So with that, that is all for this Monday, this baseball edition. I look forward to the next time we get to talk about baseball. And Brett will handle the basketball tomorrow.